There is so much weird stuff happening with NASA that I just can't keep up anymore. Did you guys hear about this? Now, even though this guy passed away back in 2023, he is now the 9th scientist tied to the same NASA story of a growing conspiracy of scientists that are either missing or dead. So the two on the bottom, I think, are the most recent, but Michael Hicks, he was involved with the DART missions, and that stands out to me. Because in August of 25, I posted a TikTok with a theory about how I think that Disclosure is actually announcing that there's an asteroid that's gonna hit Earth, and then my profile got taken down permanently. And we just launched a rocket last week. I know it's the Artemis 2 mission, but I don't think it's actually real. I think we launched a rocket, yeah, but I don't think we sent astronauts in there. They came back on a zip line. And I don't think that rocket is coming back to Earth either. Because no one's gonna witness that. No one's gonna witness the rocket returning. Everyone just watched it taking off. So my theory anyway is that Artemis 2 is actually a DART mission. And there's a lot of reasons why that would make sense. First of all, you got this guy, Sean Duffy. You've probably seen him on TV because he was a Fox News anchor for a while, and before that, he was on MTV The Real World. But this guy was selected to be the acting administrator for NASA. I think it's rather interesting that it's always referred to his role as the acting administrator, almost as if he's the administrator of acting. They never call him the administrator for NASA. It's just acting administrator. What would you be the administrator of if not for acting with that title, right? And that theory holds some weight when you hear him talk about central casting, because he did. He talked about it on Fox News, and Donald Trump selected him specifically for his look, for his central casting look.
2 of the 4 American astronauts that are on that flight, they're right out of central casting.
So we have someone flat out telling us that these astronauts are actors from central casting. So that actually makes sense then, that they're just faking it. They're trying to convince the public that they are on a mission to go around the moon for no freaking reason. And then we're watching all these AI videos of the backside of the moon as if that's really what we're seeing. And I'm sure they'll tell us that they returned to Earth and landed in the ocean somewhere and the dolphins were swimming around like last time, right? It's all a show. It's all reality television, which we know is scripted. And I could go on and on and on. Something about these astronauts doesn't add up. In fact, there's one particular detail of the pilot that really stands out to me. So this guy was an FA-18 pilot, but then he was on Senator McCain's administrative team for a while. Like he was in politics, I guess. And now he's the pilot for Artemis 2. Really? And this is the same Victor Glover that listens to Whitney on the Moon twice a week when he goes to work. You guys know what that poem's about? Whitney on the Moon is a spoken word poem that critiques American economic inequality during the Apollo moon missions. Drawing attention to systemic issues faced by Black Americans. So we've got a Black American pilot that's listening to a poem twice a week about systemic economic inequality for Black Americans, particularly spending money on moon missions, and then being the pilot of his own moon mission. None of this makes sense. This is all one big show. This is central casting. It's one bad movie, as Stephen Baldwin would call it, and we're about to see the grand finale.